Welcome everybody. I hope you're doing wonderful. So I got an email from someone. They had some questions that they wanted me to ask in regards to Nicole Kessinger and Chris Watts. So I think that I'm going to do this video and maybe one more. If you guys have any questions that you want me to add, I'll do one more video for it. But then I'm going to have to get away from this again. It's just too, the energy is not good surrounding it, and it's really, I don't, I want to help as much as I can, and provide some clarity for things that we aren't clear about as much as I can. But this video and one more, I'll do one more. If anybody else has any questions, you can write them in the comments, and I will make another video, and that'll be the last one I'm going to do on this one. Okay, so let's get started. Spirit guides, guardian angels, please show me. The first question is, why did the dogs hit in the basement? Spirit guides, will you please show me why the dogs, what happened in the basement at Shanann and Chris Watts' house on the night of the murders that the dogs smelled when they came to do the to search for them? What was it that the dogs were hitting on in the basement? I know we all wanted to know that anyway, so. One more shuffle. Okay, so we have the Empress in reverse. Wow. The Page of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. And the Hierophant. Wow. Okay. So for our second question, what was it that Chris Watts was seeing on the neighbor's security camera that made him freak out? Spirit guys, can you please show me what it is that Chris Watts saw on the security camera that made him freak out? Please show me. Okay, so we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles, wow, okay, and the Seven of Swords. That is, wow. I'm loving this. This is some great energy right here. Some strong energy coming in right now. The third question, why did Nicole Kessinger ping in Frederick, Colorado the morning of the murders of Shanann and her children? Can you please show me, Spirit, why Nicole Kessinger pinged in Colorado, in Frederick, Colorado, the morning of the murders of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, Baby Nico? So we have the Lovers, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and the Six of Cups in reverse. Number 4. Why did Nicole Kessinger not want the police talking to her friend Jen? Why did Nicole Kessinger want them to leave him alone? He does not need to be wrapped up in this. Why did Nicole Kessinger not want the police to speak with Jen? Ooh. So we have the Two of Wands, the King of Pentacles, and Nine of Swords in reverse. I think there's one more. Okay, and this is the last question for this one. What evidence is inside of the house? What is it that's inside of Shanann and Chris Watts? What evidence is there inside of Chris Watts' house that Nicole Kessinger is so scared of? What is it in the house in Frederick that Nicole Kessinger is so afraid of being found? What is it? We have the Knight of Swords here, the Seven of Wands, Five of Cups. Wow. have the moon in reverse. Okay, so let me take this in for a second. Okay, guys, sorry, I had to rearrange some things. I had a little bit of an accident. Okay, so the first question about why the dog's hit in the basement, what happened in the basement. So we see the Empress in reverse, which is insecurity, being overbearing. It also represents negligence, smothering, lack of progress. It can indicate that, losing willpower and strength, that and starting to put too much effort and concern into other people's affairs, basically. The Empress's nature is basically usually to shower her loved ones with attention and care. Um, this can sometimes go overboard, right? Um, it could indicate smothering the ones that you loved with your intentioned actions. Um, Perhaps finding, trying to find your way in life. And it could also mean that you're relying on others to take care of you and make decisions for you. Um, Needing to work towards removing this influence on your life, basically, and building confidence in your own actions. Um, as you try as much as you can, basically, to solve them on your own. So this could indicate be a clingy lover or lack of progress, feeling insecure. So now we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. This is um, a card of foolish, immature, irresponsible behavior. It could also indicate a lazy person or an underachiever, as well as someone who is procrastinating. Um, it could also point to being overwhelmed due to heavy demands. It could indicate needing assistance, completing a task instead of finishing it by yourself. It could also indicate an urge to gamble and play, um, not staying responsible and focused and control and in control of your actions. It indicates dangerous actions and can also um, be avoiding doing work, wanting success without working. And then we have the Hierophant, which the Hierophant represents tradition, social groups, convention, being very conventional. What I'm trying to say. It's conformity, education, and knowledge, as well as beliefs. It's a card that, it's about embracing the conventional. It suggests having a certain desire to follow a process that has been well established. It also suggests wanting to stay within certain conventional bounds of what could be considered an orthodox approach to something. Adapting to certain beliefs and systems that were already put in place and existing. Um, it suggests that sorry, it's a card that suggests that it's better to follow social structures which are established and have their own traditions, right? Um, it can include like certain ceremonies, rituals, or religious trappings, for instance. It most commonly is representative of institutions as well as other, as their core values. This is a sign that shows that you need to conform to an already existing set of rules and situations which are already fixed. Um, this is a card of teamwork, a mentor, education, success in a group, keeping your money safe, all that. So I would say, I mean, it seems like the children, to me, I don't think that the energy feels like he didn't know that these children were going to be killed that night. That's just my own personal. He did not know that that was the plan, and he found out when it was a little too late. There was nothing that he could do about it. He had to go along with what was going, what was already happening. I personally, I think that maybe she went down to check on the kids because that could be what this is. This could be Shanann here. Maybe she went down to check on the kids because they were down there. And when she got down there, she was, because you would want it to be a little bit quiet so that if there was any noise, it wouldn't signal the neighbors, maybe. It's interesting, the shape of the hands here and the blanket. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so I'm gonna go on to the next question, which is let me see. What did Watts see on the neighbor's camera that scared him so much? So, with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, this is a card that represents being guarded, living beyond your means, material instability, reckless spending, as well as superficiality. And it can be a card of suffering from financial issues. It can also indicate a false display of security and stability. There could be a desire to keep up appearances, to have all the finer things in life that you cannot afford to do. It's a card of figuring out what's important. It could indicate a moment when one truly sees, perhaps, for the first time, that we cannot depend completely on material wealth to bring happiness. Other meanings of this card differ with context, so you may instead find yourself at a period where you should be able to rest and relax, but you're unable to unwind. And it's also saying, you need to take a few steps back and allow yourself to rest and regain your strength, basically. So it's a fear of giving up independence, being guarded, a desire to succeed without work, impulsive purchase, and desire for easy money is also indicated there. And the Knight of Pentacles is a card of routine and work, so this would represent going to work. That would be him leaving and going to work. Because this is a card of daily tasks, responsibility that you gain through specific projects. This knight has patience and he accomplishes all his duties and is considered by others to be reliable and committed. Um, uh, you're fully committed to your assignments and to make sure that you complete your work efficiently. Um, and doing your best to make sure that it is completed. And it also represents routine or the kind of general hard work that you go through every day. The meaning of the Knight of Pentacles also would be type of advice that you should continue to do what you do every day, exactly what you're doing. Sticking to the tried and true methods. Everything you have set out to accomplish will be accomplished. Going with what has already been done, basically. Um, it's a card of focus and drive, slow and steady work, as well as hard work. So, and then we have the Seven of Swords, which is lies, trickery, scheming, strategy, resourcefulness, being sneaky, and cunning. So, the Seven of Swords in general is said to be about betrayal and deception. It could imply that, you or someone else, basically, in your life is having difficulty getting away with something. There are instances where we are forced to be sneaky, hoping that we will not be discovered. When we find out when we are found out, we have to face the consequences, whether it be embarrassment, punishment, or, worse. Sometimes this would be something that would happen where you have to think on your feet, and something that somewhat, out of character and, shrewd of you. Um, Possibly a danger of a secret coming out. You could be tempted to sneak away from somewhere. A situation that is no longer working as you expected. Instead of dealing with it, you choose to sneak away and hope that you'll go unnoticed. Thinking that you've gotten away, basically, with something. You discover this situation has cornered you, and you found out as you were trying to escape, basically. So this would be an affair, sparing people's feelings, feeling suspicious, lies and deception, in a love contest, context, or gossip, sabotage, jealousy, or working strategically, as well as like shady business deals, fraud, theft, scams, all that. So, obviously, um, I would think it almost seems like it's like she let, like there's something, it was her, basically. As you can see here, she left after he left for work, right? So maybe he was already gone and she left later, maybe after Nikki came to the house the first time. Because he's coming home from work, he's doing what he does every day. He thought he got away with that part, but she was still behind trying to get everything done. She was unable to do that because this is the independent woman here, and then there's the lone woman there. So that's kind of what it seems. Seems that it was seen, or look, here's the boots here. Interesting. He wasn't alone. That was one thing, but y'all see the hawk up here though? That's pretty interesting given the fact that what was it? That Jamie and his mama both told the story about the CD player skipping. What if if you think about that in code, wouldn't that be maybe the camera was skipping, so maybe it was able to be cut out, is what they were telling him, or that he needed to take the plea deal because there was something on the camera, or that's because they were. It seemed like some of the things that they said were really strange and seemed to mean something different. That's very interesting. So the third question that they asked me to ask was why did Nicole Kessinger's phone ping in Frederick the morning of the murders? So we have the lover's card here. I wonder if this is her, because when we see these two, as you can see, there's a picture on the. Oh, that's a picture. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I thought she was actually there, but the picture of her here. Look at that, y'all. So this is a picture of the same woman, basically in the same position. I wonder if Nicole walked in on them, doing the wild thing. Or Shanann walked in on them doing the wild thing down in the basement because she was trying to find the kiddos, maybe? So then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. Oh, I got to say what the lovers mean, I guess. Well, the lovers card is all about unions, partnerships. The primary meaning would be harmony, attractiveness, perfection in a relationship. The trust in the unity of the lovers gives, kind of gives them confidence and strength, empowering the other. The bond that they have created is very strong. It can indicate close and intimate partnerships in relationships. Another meaning behind the Lover's card is the concept of choice. A choice between things that are opposing and mutually exclusive. This could be a dilemma that you need to think about carefully and make the best decision, for your situation. It can apply to individuals in developing their own personal belief systems, regardless of what societal norms are. Could be starting or needing to start making up your mind about what is important and unimportant, basically. Getting balanced, supportive relationships, choices in love. Um, and then we have the Six of Cups in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse indicates being stuck in the past, unable to move forward, leaving your house, and independence. The Six of Cups in reverse can mean that you're clinging to the past. Um, while you find it comforting to be in the security of your house or a home, you must forge your own path, basically. It and could indicate not focusing on the present and being truly aware. Um, Maybe it could be feeling as though you're disconnected um, from your childhood self and your childhood dreams, which could sometimes be all, unrealistic. Not reaching goals causing you pain. Um, reality carves a path for you that you must follow, and you shouldn't. It can indicate not needing to blame yourself for choices that you made, taking time to think about where you want to be and how you can reach your goals instead of just dreaming about them. Oh, I skipped the Ace of Wands. Okay, so the Ace of Wands, I'm sorry guys, is blocks, feelings of lack of passion, lack of energy, hesitancy. Um, it indicates not having any direction, which leads to being uninspired, unmotivated, um, not knowing what you really want to do. Um, if you have a goal, it would be not be a goal that you're not excited about and not wanting to achieve it. Could be feeling weighed down by current commitments and responsibilities, being unable to come up with new ideas or muster passion to move forward in the projects, and it indicates delays with your current projects. Um, could indicate, wanting to finish tasks, but things are getting in your way. Um, Having an idea but not knowing how to execute it and making it a reality. Indicates being patient and waiting for the right time. So this would be like a short term passionate affair, lack of excitement in love, lacking inspiration, feeling uncreative and lacking progress, as well as risky decisions and financial losses and stuff like that. So, it seems like she was there because she came. He had to make a choice. He was acting like he wasn't gonna be moving on from the past. Or maybe he was unable to. Um, I don't think that he was able to. The only thing that he was not able to do was kill the kids. I think that he did not. That was not the plan. It was not intended to happen in that way. I really strongly feel that, and I do think that Celeste or Bella walked into the room. I think that that part is 100% true. And he was freaking out about that. And he was unable to finish that task. Maybe she wasn't going to be there, and so other people were there, maybe. I don't know. It seems kind of. I'll let y'all tell me what y'all think. Okay, so now we're going to the next question, which is about Jim. So, the Two of Wands is a card of planning, first steps, making decisions, leaving your comfort zone, and taking risks. This is like a more mature version of the Ace of Wands here, right? So it would indicate planning and moving forward, progressing forward. Um, Basically, with the Two of Wands, you have already set out to achieve a particular task, which means that you should be able to turn an idea into a realistic plan. Um, plan a plan that will require fulfillment, and therefore you have to progress from just from just having the plan, which means you know you have to actually set out to achieve it. Discovery is considered as another meaning as the Two of Wands. While the beginning might seem tough and difficult, the Two of Wands is like an encouragement to strive on and push forward. The Two of Wands also means beginning to realize your objectives and long-term goals. Um, in other words, you have strived to get where you are, and now moving forward, you have long-term goals. Um, it could revolve around making decisions. In other words, you're either satisfied with your current knowledge or you're moving forward and taking risk. It means leaving comfort zones and exploring new territory, basically. Um, so this could be making plans in your love life and planning a future together, or planning your long-term financial goals and laying foundations. Um, the King of Pentacles in reverse is a card of greed, being materialistic and wasteful. It can indicate poor financial decisions, a gambler, being exploited. I can't even talk. Being possessive, um, feeling or being disconnected from the energy, of the suit that he is the king of. So, and he may have been impatient and too indulgent and gambled too far, maybe, and outstretched himself. It could also indicate seeking shortcuts someone seeking shortcuts that led you to ruin or could lead you to ruin. Being too focused on the material side of things, only understanding the cost of things and never their value. Um, it could also signify that your definition of success and happiness is only determined by outer appearances and not the true value that security and stability can bring to you. Um, it could mean that someone dear to you is currently facing issues due to matters concerning his or her career, um, and that you have to look at long-term goals, not making choices based only on the short-term picture, um, and can indicate some sort of material loss or a loss in reputation. Um, so, and then we have the Nine of Swords in reverse, which is recovery, um, learning to cope, facing life, finding help, some type of shame, guilt, or mental health issues. It's a car. It indicates finding yourself basically terrorized by nightmares, by anxiety and stress, or some type of trauma from your past coming back. Um, it could be finding the grief of unresolved issues overwhelming. Um, a desire to leave this nightmare. trying to drag yourself basically toward a release yourself. But just as you have you have ways out, you must understand that you can still fall deeper into despair. Basically, your job is to avoid that outcome. If you push forward, you may find yourself out. So it could be getting help from a partner, or alleviating stress by sharing something with someone, getting clarity, um, and lacking of resources, and stress is becoming real, basically. So, hmm, it almost seems like maybe, I mean, they probably did plan it together, but he could lose his job. Maybe he had money, not money, but maybe he was married too, and he has a high ranking job, and he could lose that job, which would affect her. And I also think maybe huh, maybe he offered her money or something of the sort, or she felt like she couldn't trust him to be able to handle, because he had it, they had knowledge. He had a lot of knowledge about it, and she just didn't trust him with that, because he's not, you know, a very he's not a predictable type of guy. And she wanted to keep the money maybe that he gave her. And it also seems that he had to pick her up. Maybe he didn't know the full extent, possibly, of what happened. I don't know if he was there or not. I really don't. But I think that he might not have been there, because at least not him, this person that Jim, at least not him, because it seems like maybe he only has certain knowledge of the truth, and she didn't want to risk him giving up that, and she was offered money to keep them from, you know, contacting him. Okay, so the last question, um, what evidence is in the house? So when we see the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Swords is a very assertive and direct and impatient, daring, focused, and ambitious knight. Um, Basically, a knight that becomes so thoroughly obsessed by certain idea that they strongly wish to manifest, that oftentimes they're so blinded by the actual desire for its fulfillment, that we fail to note the difficulties which we may come across, or the actions and consequences that it could bring. um Life is full of energy, and it needs to be balanced with proper and actual realization. Once this knight sets forth towards a goal, there is absolutely no stopping him. He doesn't see and he doesn't care about any upcoming challenges. He is filled with sheer ambition, strength, determination to succeed with his quest no matter what. This determination could build him up to be and to see the potential, and to unable to see the potential consequences of his actions on others as he makes his way to success. He may charge forth into a very dangerous territory without preparation or actual foresight, and this could lead to danger. This could be fears of intimacy, decisive action, getting things done, efficiency, making big moves, and focus on financials. And then we see the Seven of Wands, which is protectiveness, standing up for yourself, defending yourself, protecting your territory. It indicates struggles after an initial fulfillment and satisfaction of an event. And as we see, okay, sorry, it's about the struggle that you need to go through to maintain your position rather than attain it. This is about the difficulties we face to continue to have success. Um, it's a card of being ready for the competition to defend your title and to prove yourself. Others are going to desire the same results, right? So you need to get ahead of them. Um, Possible challenges to the success of your project or venture from an outside source. Um, Needing to remain dedicated to your desires with clear purpose and intent. Holding your ground no matter what. And defending this position and taking a stand against those who are aiming to take your spot. You need to keeping fighting, keeping your beliefs, and confront any that might threaten or oppose you and your beliefs. Setting boundaries, fighting for romance, fighting off competition, defending your position, facing challenges, protecting your security and stability, as well as long-term success. And the Five of Cups is a card of loss and grief, disappointment, sadness, mourning, discontentment, feeling let down. There are certain tarot cards whose imagery immediately conjure up negative emotions. And the Five of Cups carries such weight. This is a card which signifies a loss as well as the painful challenges which stem from that particular loss. Um, Standing in front of the cups, she only sees what's gone and not what's left, or not seeing what's left, and she wants to keep it that way. The Five of Cups symbolizes disappointment, of course, and the feelings that come when things go differently than you expect. It could indicate feeling unhappy that a certain situation hasn't turned out the way you had hoped it would. Instead of moving towards a more positive perspective, this card seems to say that, dwelling in the past, inducing feelings of self-pity and regret. It could show that you may have certain issues letting go of certain things which are in the past. It also shows that you're unwilling to learn from your past mistakes that you have already committed. This card is often going to reflect a person who is caught up in their past and is absolutely incapable of moving on. So, and it also represents that there are things that are still left that you have to salvage. And then we have the moon. Okay, so the moon is in reverse on the bottom, which is going to represent the overall energy of this particular question. And that would be fear, deception, anxiety, misinterpretation, clarity being found, an understanding being made. It indicates that the darker and more negative aspects of the moon are present in your life. It could represent confusion as well as unhappiness. You want to make progress, but you're not sure what the right thing to do is. Dealing with your anxiety and fears by overcoming them. They are like the shadows in the dark. The moon reversed, it indicates that you are in or have recently battled confusion, anxiety, and self-deception. It could also indicate the forces of the night that are bringing you confusion are starting to dissipate. Negative energies you have been facing are slowly fading away. So this is a card of fear and paranoia, sabotage, deception, and trickery. deception regarding finances, and clarity about finances. So when I see this, so as we see the lightning here, this is, and then the next one is fire. So this is going to be some type of electrical type thing, or something that was going to cause something to blow up, maybe. And look, there's even a light back there. And what she's touching here, so there's something. This even looks like the basement. A cellar or something. It's like a wine cellar, right? Her feet are covered here. So her clothes, is it her clothes? I bet there's something after the initial conflict that she had with, because she came in really fast, right? That's the guy defending. So there's something, her DNA is on something, but it was going to catch on fire, right? That was their plan, I think. But I believe it's her clothes. The fog's at the clothes, at the feet. But I think that there's something of hers. There's some type of clothes of hers. You know those pipes in the basement? I think there's something of hers in the pipes, because it would be something that if somebody else got the property, they would definitely find this. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. These are stairs here. That's interesting too. And this even looks like Nicole. Mm-mm-mm. I think it's the shoes. Well, I think it's the shoes, as well as something that was put in place, some type of maybe chemicals that maybe have eroded things or have eroded something. I think it was supposed to, I think they were going to catch it on fire. But I do think that the pipe that was up at the top, there was something in it. And her hand is a very important thing too. Some type of print. I think that's interesting to note. Mm-mm-mm. But yeah, so I'm glad that I was able to do this for the lady who emailed me with these questions. I hope that everybody gets a better understanding. I pretty much have. I don't really have any more questions that I need answered. But if anybody else has questions, I will do one more video if there's enough questions. Or if anybody has any more questions, I will do one more for you guys on this case. Then I'm going to have to go on and back away from it again. It's just best that way. This case has a lot of negative energy around it, and it's probably from the sadness of these lives that have been that were taken, and the no concern by any party involved about their deaths besides, Shanann's family. There's no concern, there's no empathy from any of them. Like his mom, I hate that too. And I don't want to dislike them, and I don't dislike them. I understand, but I just I just don't think that they get or care about the loss that they had with their grandchildren, and that really is not a nice feeling to have. I mean, I feel like they were like, well, they were part of Shanann anyway, so she didn't really like them as much, I guess. I don't know. or just trying to salvage what's left. I guess, I mean, I guess I just can't understand it maybe. Um, I can't put myself in their shoes with losing, your kid too, because, you love your kid, you raise your kid. But as far as Nicole Kessinger, and by the way, everything that I have said is my opinion and what I'm reading. It is not fact. It is just my opinion. Everybody has, the right to their opinion. So you can't sue me for that. But, as far as she goes, she doesn't care. And that's the sad. Almost, it makes me sad for her, you know? Because my empathetic, healing self wants for everybody to progress in life. And I don't want anybody to be overtaken by evil and be swallowed by it. I would love to heal the whole world, If I could give the whole world a Coke, I would. But if I could, help everybody, I would. And for all of you Christians out there, remember, it does not matter what you do for people that are walking the line already or who don't really need your help. Being of Christ and being Christ-like and helping people are people like Nicole, are people like Chris. It's helping those type of people, the type of people who need it. That's the true testament to your faith in Him, in Christ, in God, and your true testament in your, unity of all. Reaching out and helping people, but you can't help people who don't want to be helped. And it is important to see your wrongdoings and to see what you've done wrong and to rectify them. If you do not rectify them, it's going to be bad for you and you're going to be miserable. If you want to get out of your shackles, then you have the power. You have the power to make it right. But you have to try first, So that's all I'm saying. It's her own fault. She wants to blame the world. She blames Chris and she blames the world because the world thinks that she had more to do with it. The world sees her inconsistencies. The world doesn't shut up when they see something that isn't right. The world wants justice. The world likes fairness and equity. And for that, she thinks the world is wrong for that because they want her head on a platter. I don't want your head on a platter. I just want you to stand up for what you did. That's the thing. She could not even do that. And, she probably would have came off a little better had she not tried to portray herself to be the sophisticated, wonderful problem solving, boss ass bitch that she wanted to portray herself as. She was not sorry. You know what that was? That was, trying to get out of stuff, but it was also, she was trying to prove to the detective how great she was and how it makes sense that he would want to be with her. And if she wanted him to see why he wanted her and why it makes sense that he did it by himself because she's so great. Like, she's holier than thou. Like, who wouldn't want me? Like, look at me. Pretty face or a pretty body don't mean nothing if you got an ugly soul. And even the detective's seen that. With Charlotte's dad, like, she apologized to me the next day. Like, she bowed down to me because I'm just going through so much. Like, this guy that I was only seeing for a month. Like, that's the thing. It was so long ago. It was 6 weeks, honey. You said it was 6 weeks. So if it was 6 weeks, why are you so upset about losing him? Because that's what you were upset about. Why were you so, like, everything was so long ago. Like, how much did y'all talk? Because, I mean, I guess, you don't remember what y'all talked about because y'all didn't talk. It was more probably you talked at him. The day he met you is the day that his life ended, and that's the truth of the matter. And the day you met him is the day your life ended too, because you're never going to be able to move past it either, because you are a android, a cyborg, freaking battery. You're a battery. You have no emotions, no feelings, just energy and negativity just radiating from you from the depths of your soul. Shit. Put a dream catcher over your bed. Or over your... Anyway, guys, I gotta go. Love y'all. Bye.